Okay, well, that's hilarious. I just did a 37-minute video, which clearly is too long. None of the sound worked, so I didn't do a good job. I guess Spirit did not want that to happen. Hi, my name is Constance. I am a nurse who is bringing spirituality into medicine, into nursing. And so I want to talk to you about that. And actually, like, I think that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't know that it needs like a huge chat about what that means or looks like. I think people get it. I want to talk about some of the spiritual practices that I have that have been super healing. I have had a journey with a stage 4 cancer, advanced cancer diagnosis. And in that time, I had to get very in touch with how to heal my body and how to be comfortable in a very, very uncomfortable situation and alchemize those energies. And so I want to help you do that. I also want to enjoy, like, yesterday was summer solstice. It's June 21st. So it's also the strawberry full moon, hence the obnoxious pink uh, color, which I don't usually wear something quite this bright, but I'm okay with it. I think it looks pretty good. Um, so I definitely, um, it's kind of good. Like the video that I did before this, I think it probably just like warmed me up, and that is a good thing. So I want to say hi, Spirit Fam. I hope that you're here to be able to enjoy some spiritual downloads with me. And that's what I did before I got onto this to do this video. I was like, all right, what do I want to say? What needs to come through? And so I guess the last 37 minutes didn't need to. So that's all fine, whatever. Um, so I actually am going to tune in right now because Spirit didn't want me to ramble that much. I think that this message needs to be a lot more succinct. So I'm going to really tune in right now. I'm gonna actually keep it really simple. I had this experience today, and I had a conversation while I was going to yoga, driving through Topanga Canyon, going to yoga, like angry. I was going to yoga angry. And I wasn't angry like at the person I was talking to. It was my mom. We've had a very challenged relationship, but it's very healthy now, which is lovely. Um, but I definitely have had, we were talking about finances and just like, I wasn't angry at her or a specific situation. I was angry that I didn't know what I was angry at. So I get into class and I got there right on time, which I was like, yes, because something I'm working on, but I typically do run late on time to late to yoga. It's kind of a joke, but I also go to a yoga studio that is in Venice, and I don't live in Venice. Like I live in Calabasas area, so it's like, okay. But I love this studio so much that it's totally worth it to go. So that's choices, right? But so I get to yoga class, and this is like something that I've used in my personal work is like, okay, so I'm having this very, very, very loud feeling. And I don't know what's going on with me right now, but like I am all over the place and I'm heated. So I was going into hot yoga and I was already heated. And so let me share with you how I have done somatic work, because I would also do this. Like I would microdose and go into yoga and work out a lot of trauma in my body so that I could start healing while I was doing treatment, because the treatment was also creating all this inflammation in my body. It was very painful. It was saving my life, but I also was exhausted and didn't feel well and was in a lot of chronic pain, and something like it felt similar to like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis, and it just was getting worse and worse and worse. And I would have moments where it started getting better, but then it would always kind of recur. And um, but I did a lot of work to work this stuff out in my body, and yoga did help a lot. So let me share that with you. So today, I did there. I have a friend who she and I put together a blend of a variety of functional mushrooms, along with stuff like ginkgo biloba and a couple other Ayurvedic type of ingredients and a little bit of magic. And it's very light. It's super light, almost to the point where it's imperceptible. Like if you take two or three, then it's like taking a multivitamin. It's going to heighten your intuition, but it's not going to make you feel like you're having a euphoric trip. But you might be able to access your emotions better. So I did that before I went into my yoga class today, knowing that I was going to have the time to process. Also knowing yesterday was solstice. I just got back from 2 days in 3 days in Sedona, and like picked up a lot of energy. And I am telling you guys right now, my experience has been that like when I go out and I do a lot of traveling, but now all of my travel is like spiritual walkabout. Like I'm just going to experience the the energy of the place that I'm going to. Like tonight after I finish this, I'm going to go to Malibu. I'm going to go look at the moon and spend time with the moon. And my dog really wants to go too, so he'll be coming as well. But I'll be going and spending time with the moon to like just appreciate the beauty, to feel into my body how that feels, and to spend time out in nature, and like get in touch with other feelings in the quiet. Um, so when I would microdose, like a lot of the ways that I've used it intentionally was to either go on a nature walk while I'm contemplating certain types of things that I'm trying to work through. It's not like it's not recreational, like it's more like I have a lot of stuff that I've been trying to work through with in my body. Like why am I having a recurring problem? So this was more about like I've been head of household. I've been divorced my since my daughter was not even 2. So I've had other relationships, but I haven't had a long-term partner who's been a provider at all. And so I've been head of household and raising this amazing daughter, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of emotional work, and it's a lot of financial work. And I've also been feeling the burden of that. I got into a kind of a thing with my daughter about she's 18 now. She just graduated high school, and we were having a conversation. I was like, look, I probably have a job that's going to take me away for a couple days, like for almost a week, and you got to take care of the dog. And she was like, oh, but I've got stuff going on. And I got really pissed and like super angry. And then I had to kind of realize that, I mean, I'm not dumb. I know that it's her summer and she's a kid, and, she's not a kid, but she's an older teenager slash adult, young adult. And so she wants to hang out with her friends. But I was like, look, either I have to pay a dog sitter and someone's going to be in the house with you, and I can't give you the money that I will have to pay the dog sitter, like, or you can have the money and, rearrange your schedule. But I realized that when I was getting frustrated with her, and I was like, all you need to do is like rearrange some of your schedule, and like, what's the big fucking deal? And I realized that I have been inflexible and also taking on such a burden a lot of times. But then I do it like a martyr. I do it like, oh God, like I want to do it, but then I get really pissed off. But partly that's because I'm taking on too much, and it's like overwhelming. And I know that there's a lot of women who identify with this. Obviously, single moms, like it's like, or a single parent, it's not just women. Single parents take on a lot. It's a lot to do all of the role for the family. But I also see women, you don't have to be divorced to be trying to do it all. It's like how it's impossible. So one thing that I've learned through plant medicine is like I have to embrace the softer side of myself, but that includes everything, everything, everything. And so I, was in this conversation going through the canyon, excited to go to yoga, but actually like getting kind of heated because I'm very in touch with my emotions now that I've done all this work. So, when things come up, it's not like, oh, I can't brush anything under the rug. It's very present for me. Like it is not, it's not like it's like, oh, you can take care of this when you want. It's like my body will not allow me anymore to hang on to anger, resentment, fear. Like I have to clear it right away. So I've learned how to transmute these feelings, how to identify them, and then transmute them, which sometimes will mean that I bring in love into that space. Sometimes it'll mean that I bring it out, like I'm in nature and I allow myself to sit and be with that feeling in nature. And then I ground it into the earth, or like, I mean, naturally you're going to ground it into the earth. You're outside, right? But there's ways you could do that. So I'll talk about that too. But but today I went into yoga, and I went into yoga with a light microdose, and I went in heated, and it was going to be a hot yoga class. So I went in with all this energy. I'm not sure that I didn't heat up that class a little bit more. And I was really angry like the first 30 minutes of class. And plus, I was like directly under a heater. I was like, oh, of course, like that's rude. But I knew like that's what I needed. So I was like, all right, all right, all right, I'll do it. I'll get in this heat and I'll feel it. And I did. And it was intense. And I felt the anger coming from my solar plexus and my belly. And I let it process. And what it turned into was tears and frustration. And then I had to kind of identify like what is frustrating me? Like, what am I angry about? And I started listening to these meditations a couple days ago, and it's really having to do with the divine feminine and embracing, being this very feminine, uh, feminine archetype, but also just a very powerful feminine energy. And the feminine energy is it's not an active doer. That's a masculine role. And so I realized that there was a lot of anger in me for being forced over and over and over again to be in this masculine role. I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, let me be a woman. Let me be a woman. And then I realized there's no one who can let me be a woman but me. I have to do it. And so, it took me 90 minutes of class, but at the end, I was like at peace with the feeling. And I was like, okay, whatever needs to fall apart and fall away, I'm going to have to allow it. I'm going to have to allow it, because right now, the way I've been living my life is by doing and going out and making things happen. And I don't actually have the energy for that anymore, but I also don't want to do it. I don't have the energy because of my physicality is like not allowing me to do it. But also, I don't want to do it anymore. I am over it. I want to embrace this divine feminine of that. And we're also, this is the time we're stepping into. And like the last 6 months has been a tremendous amount of high energy and a lot of information. And now I feel like it's time to now integrate these learnings. And like literally the last couple days has been the beginning of that. But like if you're watching this and it's, the end of 2024 or even 2025, I think that this is the energy we're moving into. It's divine feminine. It's more of a collaborative. It's more of a receiving. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a woman to embrace divine feminine. But it's just this energy that we're moving into right now. And I've learned also that every day, because of it's because of what's going on in the planet, there's a new energy for every day. So this is a concept that I've been working on, which is why I want to start doing this idea of the Big Aura Daily Dose, and Big Aura Podcast is my podcast. And I'm still working out that concept, but I have a couple of the podcasts. So like, love it if you would subscribe on my YouTube channel, which is Big Aura Podcast. But I also will be bringing daily Big Aura Daily Dose, and that's my Instagram. And the daily dose is like a daily dose of enlightenment, a daily dose of information to digest, and then we'll probably do some kind of like a grounding exercise or something like that. Like I've gotten deeply into Sound healing, I don't actually, I mean, I've played several instruments. I'm really excited and looking forward to getting more into my instruments, and I'm sure I'll share that with you guys. Hopefully, it's not too cringy. It might be, I don't know. But actually, I'm working on some really, really dope meditations that are set to like dance music. So it will lend itself to ecstatic dance or, somatic movement. So that's something that I want to share with everybody. And it's been very healing for me. It's also like, how free do you want to be? How good do you want to feel in your body? And that's, of course, a choice. Like, you don't have to buy into everything. That's not, I mean, I've had to, I feel like I've had to because, I got to this close to the brink of death. And then I was like, no, I'm going to live my life. So I will share with you, as somebody who was like extremely close to just not being on the planet anymore, that this life is beautiful, but it's also what you make of it. And if you want it to be more joyful, you have to clear away the garbage. And also, to experience heightened joy, you also have to experience the depths of the shadow as well. And the shadows are like negative feelings about ourselves, negative programs that have to be let go of. And so, actually, shoot, I wanted to do a clearing, but I don't have anything. Maybe I'll use this. I had the worst time. Like, I need to get these nails cut down because I can't open and close my own necklace clasps. But I wanted to maybe do a clearing. Let's see if I can. Yeah, let's do a clearing. Do a clearing with this necklace. So this is a technique I've been working with, and I got a download that the more people I can do these meditations with and these clearings with the use of crystals, it's going to be it. It allows this is like a new earth concept, and it allows um, the the false matrix to start breaking, like to be dissolved and broken up, which reveals the existing natural universe, which is what we're trying to restore. That's the new earth concept. But new earth is not, we're not moving into, we are moving into a new era, but we're not moving into a new energy. It's a different the dimension's already there. We have to start embodying the ideas and the concepts, and as we embody them, not just thinking about them, but actually embracing the concepts, alchemizing the feelings, releasing old programming that is untrue, programming that says that, like, I'm not good enough, I don't know how to do things, I am disempowered. So this was partly what I got. My takeaway today was like, okay, because I thought, like, why didn't no one actually offer me financial help while I was sick? Like, that's bullshit. And then I was like, okay, first of all, I was very lucky, like, not to be all braggy, but I did very well financially, so nobody needed to help me. Um, the last 6 months, I've had, like, last year, I've had some more struggles because I've had to figure out ways to make money. And I live in Los Angeles, and I'm a parent with a daughter who's a teenager. So it's like, I pay her car payment, I pay all of the insurance. Like, but then, do I need to do all those things? Do I need to keep on paying my car payment? Do I need to sell my car so that I can have, a car that I can have less insurance on? Or do I need to live in LA all the entire year? So it's like, there's a lot of institutions that I've been feeding into that I'm not certain that I need to keep on doing. So I'm exploring a lot of different ideas around what can shift and what can change, right? Sorry, maybe this is helpful. I hope that didn't sound terrible. But I want to do some, so this clearing, so this is like, I have pendulums, but they're not next to me, and I don't want to go off camera to go get a pendulum. So I want to do this pendulum clearing. This is going to be counterclockwise. So this dissolves the energy. So we are dissolving and discarding and dis and deprogramming ideas that we are not empowered, that we do not know how to do things, that we have to be perfect at things to move forward with anything, that I have to be hustling. I dissolve and discard ideas about hustle culture, that the only way to get things done is to do them. And I embrace, so now we're going to go clockwise. I embrace this concept of truly attracting that which I desire, of being in the energy of that which I desire, of letting go of the institutions that have kept me entrapped, of letting that, hold on, dissolving these concepts of the patriarchy. These are false concepts. The false concept of the patriarchy, false beliefs that money is hard to get, false beliefs that work has to be hard uh, to be valuable. You have to work hard to work has to be hard. Dissolve and release that, any ancestral beliefs of work needing to be hard and being hard, life being hard, money being hard to get, life being difficult, not being able to be accepted for your gifts, not being able to be paid well for your gifts and your art. And I am dissolving that for up to seven lines of ancestors back, and up to seven future generations as well. So we're doing 14 generations of healing, and let this healing continue. Let's see how long that wants to go. And I'm feeling that like totally in my neck. I've always had problems with my neck. So maybe it's like the neck is like, maybe don't need to carry the world on my shoulders. This concept, letting go of the idea that we need to carry the world on our shoulders. Letting that go. I think that feels better. I am going to go. I'm going to drive to Malibu in the dark and go and look at the moon. I'm going to bring this beautiful necklace. I got this in Mexico City. It's really not that beautiful, but I love its energy. So I'm going to bring this, and I might clear some other things. Please like and subscribe, and I will be very overjoyed if I can see you in other videos. So love you very much, Spirit Fam.